Good afternoon. This is Group 4's presentation for Comms 4350, Special Topics in Corporate Organization. We as a group decided to offer up a social media campaign that really focused on 4 key areas on how nonprofit organizations can better utilize social media to reach their end goals. I'm going to discuss engagement, followed by Matt, who's going to talk about donation and funding. Then it's going to be Obina, who's going to talk about disbursement of organizational information. And lastly, Nick is going to discuss the topic of intra-organizational communication and how we can better utilize social media for that as well. So when it comes to engagement, all it is really about is emotional appeals to bring people into the fold and into an organization's family and like membership. So when it comes to that, there's 2 motivating factors. There's external factors and internal factors. What the research has shown is that for people who support like nonprofits are going to be more internally motivated rather than the external factors. So a lot of these things where it works in corporate settings isn't going to work for a nonprofit organization. My way to bridge this gap and increase emotional appeals to the specific targeted audience is through live videos via social media. Whether it be through Facebook Live, Instagram Stories, or other types of live streaming services, it's really about that face-to-face interaction within an organization that makes you feel a part of the family. You don't get this through computer-mediated communication generally because there's something missing about the voice, the tone, and everything else that goes on when you really have a face-to-face interaction. So I'm going to pass it off to Matt, and he's going to discuss donation and funding and how we can better utilize that. Thanks.
Hi you guys, my name is Matt Hintz, and I'm going to be going over the donation and funding portion of our project. I really wanted to emphasize over what Toby was talking about earlier with the internal need to kind of bridge that barrier between face-to-face contact and get to know one another. Donation and funding has a lot to do with this, and social media and ICTs have actually been proven to help those numbers substantially. In 2019 alone, it showed that there was a $68 billion worldwide corporate sponsorship growth just off of social media alone. Things like social media platforms offer up the ability to bridge that gap between internal needs of face-to-face and feeling like you're more incorporated in the nonprofit. Nonprofits themselves are able to use those things and directly gain donations or post a video of 15 seconds, describing what they really are stand for, what their project is, what they're trying to do. And it offers up a solution as far as one click of a button for people to donate monthly or sign up for a subscription. This ability as far as ICT and social media is concerned is a huge gain in the donation and funding area of it. There's more and more research being put out every day showing that the ability to simply post on a board or be able to directly contact with a nonprofit that is hundreds of thousands of miles away is able to really show that need for self-gratification in a sense. And it gives people the ability to say, okay, if I click this button, if I donate, I'm really helping, and I can see the difference I'm making through a little thing like that. It also helps with things like corporate sponsorships. Corporations are more willing to sign on with a nonprofit or donate to a nonprofit because they know that their logo or their brand will be put right beside that page that's visited by millions of people within a day. It gains awareness for everybody in turn, and it benefits all parties connected, including the common user. That self-gratification and internal need is really something that is able to be taken care of with this social media abundance, and it's truly a good thing. But I'm going to pass it off to Obina now, and thank you.
Hi, my name is Obina Igbuna, and today I'm going to discuss how nonprofit organizations can better utilize social media through disbursement of information. Now, there are many ways to increase communication within an organization, but one of the proven ways that have been working, especially in this day and age, is by just simply increasing your social media presence. One example of that is American Red Cross. If you go on their Facebook page, you'll see how they have all of their events posted. They have links to donations. They have places where you can have discussions about what they're doing and talking about the cause, and also places where you see like famous people that are also following the cause. So just simply by increasing your social media presence, you can really foster a lot of engagement. So once you figured out what platform you're going to be using, the next thing is to identify your audience. And this is important because you want to know, this is what establishes your voice. And you want to know what your audience is, specifically like what demographic, what age group, your race, who you're going to be talking to, because that's what's really going to help establish your voice, and how you're going to get across to these people, because not everybody is going to follow your cause. Not everybody is going to relate to your message. So it's important to establish a voice and know who you're talking to. One thing that a lot of big nonprofit organizations have in common is their utilization of the multimedia and its power to influence people. And the reason why this is because there's a study that shows that 80% or more people are more likely to be engaged with a page whenever they see like videos or live streaming rather than a page that contains a lot of blogs. And that's because that just has something to do with, our time period and, the day and age that we're living in. Things are a lot more quicker. People want to see things. They don't really want to sit around and read about what you're doing. They want to actually see what you're doing with their own eyes. So it would be a lot more beneficial for you to disperse more information throughout your organization through multimedia and really take advantage of it, especially with the way things are going nowadays. So if you're ever thinking about starting a social media campaign or just even a nonprofit organization, the best thing that you can do is to model your pages just like UNICEF, the American Red Cross, and the Boys and Girls Club of America. Because these pages, the first thing you see when you get on these pages is, of course, the multimedia content, the videos. You also see reviews, like ratings on that specific page, and these ratings come from the people that follow these organizations. So you can see how it can be very beneficial to you if you have, say, an event, you post a video about it, somebody that probably participated in the event, goes on your page and they write like a little review about their personal experience and how they felt about it. And then other people will see that type of review. They'll be able to relate to it more because that's somebody just like them. So it would be very beneficial for you to just model your pages just like that. And you'll be able to effectively disperse information throughout your organization and to other people that can potentially be a part of your organization. The last thing to consider when it comes to increasing the disbursement of information within your organization is page transparency. Page transparency is very important because it is basically what establishes the trust between the people and the organization. And without that trust, you can't really maximize the full effectiveness of your page, because it would affect things like how much donations you would get, the type of reviews you would get, the ratings, and just, it would be less people that will be following your page. So with page transparency, it lets people know, what the organization is about, what they're doing, what the people who are managing and administering the page are doing. And it just makes people more comfortable with, investing their money into a certain cause because organization is doing X, Y, and Z. This all plays into the customer engagement cycle, which includes interaction, satisfaction, retention, commitment, advocacy, engagement, and connection. And by employing all of these steps, you'll be able to more effectively disperse information throughout your organization. That's all for my topic. I'm going to hand it over to Nick, who will be talking about intra-organizational communication.
My name is Nick Tyrion. I'm going to talk about interpersonal communication within an organization using certain platforms that other social media sites or websites have taken advantage of. One of them in the first topic is Facebook, and kind of how it breaks the barrier of expertise and gives everybody a fair chance to leave an opinion, and gives everybody as a whole a reach to see what the workers in an organization may be feeling, that they otherwise wouldn't be able to communicate without this platform. Another one is Reddit, where in said problem, you can leave a problem on a forum and people can leave ideas and solutions under it, and people can kind of piggyback on top of that, which gives a really good communication. It breaks the barrier down and gives really good feedback, which individuals can use to better effectively solve a problem. And then the last one is just one-on-one communication. One-on-one communication has always been and will always be a vital ability that organizations are going to have to do to gauge somebody and to give them the opportunity to use these platforms and to help build their organization. Um, One must have to gauge an individual one-on-one with an interpersonal meeting, something that you can't just uh, take off of an email or a resume. You actually have to gauge an individual um, in order to successfully to promote the individual in order to use these platforms. All right, thank you.